This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the fast and easy way to make a beautiful website. This is for the girlies that just feel like life's passing them by a little bit. A culmination of the things that I've learned since reaching 30. Get into it. Hi. You didn't see that. I get hairs right in my tear duct and I have to plug them. I don't know if you guys noticed, but all summer I basically had melasma right across my mustache because I got laser. I felt like I just had a mustache in all my videos. I was being good with my SPF and the aftercare, but clearly not good enough. And the worst bit is the laser didn't even take. The reason I never recommended the laser place I was going to is because I just don't think it's the best place I've been to, but I bought a package, whatever, I saw the thing through, but luckily it's fading and I'm using this on it just to kind of help it along. It's the niacinamide discoloration treatment, 15% brightening complex from Peter Thomas Roth. The big toiletry clean out, and I found this in the back. Even in the week I've used it, I've definitely seen an improvement. My raggedy ass castor oil pack. Day 5161 of different ways I'm doing my bangs with my air wrap. To drop a little, but I think we did good. Can we get a little commotion for the dress? And the back of the dress. If you didn't already hear, this is your PSA, me and you, us. We have officially entered our goddess era. Honest to God, whoever brought back the Kate Moss contouring thing, I owe you my life. Like, why is that so fucking good? If you're like me and you've been trying to wean off the Glossier products, particularly the stretch concealer, this one from O Espresso, the ABC caffeinated concealer, so good. Very thin, but very high coverage, and it actually dries down, unlike the stretch concealer. Very similar natural coverage, but actually stays. I've been using stretch concealer for years, and for me, I'll only switch products if I find something better. As you can see, I've also been giving the eyebrow gel a battering. It has an edge over the Got To Be brow gel for me. Full transparency, I've worked with them on Instagram, but I was recommending them on my YouTube way before. I don't think I'm gonna do anything with my eyes today. I'm feeling very like I just wanna look myself for this kind of milestone video. This is for the girlies that just feel like life's passing them by a little bit. I always knew I was gonna do this video. I've been collecting thoughts and notes for months. So everything that has impacted me, everything I feel like I've learned, life lessons, things that I wish I knew before 30. And if you're not younger, maybe you're a little bit older, maybe you're the same age as me, hopefully it can be a support, because I know that I've always felt supported in sharing experiences, especially as I'm getting older and realizing how important womanhood is. I remember really admiring opinions that I saw online from women that were 3-4 years older than me, that were already in that like 30 age bracket, and just admiring their mindset. I remember just being like, I want to feel like that now. Maybe I can push through these insecurities, general mid-20 something anxieties. I really took their advice and I kind of put it in my back pocket so that when things came up, I felt a little bit more equipped. I guess I'm paying it forward. I hope by watching this video you can put some of these tools in your arsenal. So strap in your boots, make your brunch, pour a glass of wine, let's get into it. Dream job is not your dream job. Oh my God, the blissful ignorance of being a graduate, thinking that you're gonna have it all figured out. You're gonna be married and settled with a kid on the way by 28. I find being a millennial in this time is such an interesting kind of bubble to be in, because we're in between the old ways and the new expectations of kind of how your life should kind of roughly play out. Kind of like you want to go towards the new age way a lot of the time, like the old generational shackles of expectation kind of have you in like a chokehold. I think out of everyone I went to university with, probably like 2 people are actually in jobs within that field. Not gonna have it figured out, babes. I know it's not like this for everyone or everywhere, but I really do feel like in my soul we're coming into this time where having multiple careers is going to be normal. Like, we're human, we get bored of things. Once we've mastered something, we want to move on to the next thing. I think when it comes to career changes, especially if it's like a career change from something you invested money into studying and all of that, you can think like, oh, it's a waste, but it's never a waste. You will always take the experience that you have from college, university, your education, and your past jobs. You will take those skills into your new place. There's always something to be learned in every job. I had so many work goals over my lifetime. Like, I started doing internships when I was 17. I got some good ass internships, tons of little internships and jobs in between, and none of them turned out to be what I thought they'd be. Like, you know that saying, never meet your hero? It's kind of like that with your job. Like, obviously you need to experience that, and with everything that doesn't work out, you get to know yourself better and what you like better. So, you know, it's never a waste of time. Oh, it's very humbling. You have this like dreamed up version of what your career is going to look like or what a certain role is going to look like, and then you end up doing it, and the veil is kind of pulled off and you see it for what it is, and most of the time it's not what it's cracked up to be. The amount of times I've heard myself and my friends say, God, I really want this role, I would do anything for this job, this is the perfect job. Like, no job is the perfect job. Like, it's still work. I think a bit more of a realistic standpoint is what you're going to learn and gain from a role, as opposed to glamorizing it. And I think a lot of us can put self-worth into whether we're worthy enough for a role, and then when you get the job and you hate it, you can be really just disillusioned because you're like, I thought this is what I wanted and I kind of hate it. Letting go of the career I thought I was gonna have, the field that I studied in and spent money on, it took a while to let go of that. It was a grieving process. It honestly took me 2 full years to fully put down and let go and just have acceptance that I didn't want to do that anymore. It's kind of like leaving a job that you hate, pressure and weight just lifting off of you because you're no longer burdened. And you're seeing some people succeed and get mortgages and have a family before they're 30, and then there's you. I have been a very serious person all my life when it comes to just like having my shit together. Funnily enough, I've definitely found a difference in that need to have like your shit figured out, differing depending on where I am. The markers for success are different. Back where I'm from in Ireland right now, the pinnacle of success is getting a house, having that stability in a really unstable rental crisis. Not to be like, New York. You don't necessarily feel that pressure because no one I know owns property in New York. For it kind of removes that pressure. Anytime I spend a period of time at home, like a month to a few months, I was home last year for 5 months, all I could think about was how I was going to get a mortgage, what I was going to do with my savings, putting it to good use, talking to a financial advisor. I have to do it. Just being in the environment that everyone else wanted that, I suddenly wanted that as well. And then every time I come back to New York, that need just kind of flutters away. I thought it was an interesting observation that where you are can highly influence. Just while we're on the topic, I think that if you're someone who doesn't feel like they're really aligned with the lifestyle that you're around, switch it up. I definitely do think it's possible to change your perspective by changing where you are. It won't solve all your problems, but it might make you a bit happier. I'm telling you right now, and I tell anyone that DMs me the same thing, your 20s are for stumbling around. There is no other time in your life that you will have the level of independence that you have, less responsibility. Non-applicable to everyone, but for the masses, like, this is the time where you only need to be responsible for yourself. Like, try and have a ball, have a good time, travel the world, make memories. So much of your life in the future that you will have to take seriously. And if you are lucky enough to have the freedom to only worry about yourself for a period of time, use it. Try a bunch of different jobs, feed your curiosity. I'm a true believer that if you align with things that you're interested in, through that you will meet the right people, you will fall into the right line of work. If you are super stuck and unsure, the suggestion I would have is taking some time off for a start. Like, I'm talking 1 to 3 months if possible, because that clarity is like nothing else. Reanalyze the kind of person you are, whether you are in astrology, Myers-Briggs, human design girly. I have found those types of tools really helpful in understanding what kind of work style suits me, can open up a whole tin of worms and inspiration. No longer think of a job role as a measure of success or an income as a measure of success. Understanding what makes you happy is success. Like, that is my measure of success. Whether you're in your 20s or your 30s or even 40s, in the grand scheme of things, you are so young. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. Play, travel, and when you're confused, just get out there and experience life. The tighter you hold on to this perception of what your life is gonna look like, the more disillusionment and confusion you're gonna have to wade through. Practicing a healthy amount of detachment from anything that I feel like has the power or the ability to make me feel like a failure. I say it a lot in different ways, but anytime someone asks me for advice, whether it be about love, a situationship, work, life, whatever, the thing that I've really understood in the last year or two is we forget how much power and control we have in regards to what affects how we feel. And I think a lot of the times we can give away our power. I like to describe them as keys, like keys to a car. You wouldn't put them in the hands of somebody else's or something else's hands. A lot of our dissatisfaction in life can come from other people's expectations of us or expectations that we place on ourselves and what we should be doing. Just be like me and you place expectations on yourself that no one even put there. There's so many unavoidable expectations in life already. It's always good to make an attempt to minimize the ones that you can. I place enormous amount of expectation on myself in regards to responsibility I have for my family and my extended family at that. I'm taking care of people on the other side of the world. Being real, as an only child, I feel like a lot of anxiety around the future and how I'm going to do that. And I think a lot of people my age are seeing their parents get older and worrying about the future. I think that responsibility can definitely feel burdensome. A lot of my ideas around success in my ability to take care of them in the future. I have found a lot of peace in, first of all, talking about these things. Like, find a friend or a therapist where you can have an outlet to talk about these anxieties. Otherwise, they just weigh on you really deeply. Like for me, sharing this with you guys, therapy. But in the last year or so, I've found much more peace in accepting that it's okay to just live life day by day, month by month sometimes, and not have this grand plan. Just understanding that I can deal with future issues and future problems. Just knowing that I can't spend every waking moment motivated by doomsday prep for things that haven't even happened yet. Now, on the topic of things we can and can't control, do not get it twisted, I am not a pushover when it comes to life. I am a big proponent of channeling female rage. I am a peace and love girly 90% of the time, but it's also okay to be angry about things that happen to us, things that are out of control, experiences have forced you in an uncomfortable position. I think women are intimidated by rage and anger, but let me tell you, nothing moves you forward and creates progress sometimes like being able to channel that anger. Women should be angry about a lot of things, and the issue is I think we suppress a lot of our anger. I've been lately, but where I really realized how much suppressed anger I had when I started going boxing. Period in my life where I was let down and I was disappointed and I had to start prioritizing myself. God, those bags saw so much of my internalized aggression towards just things that were out of my control, things I didn't feel like I deserved to happen. It felt good to have a safe channel for me to let that stuff out. I had that knock-on effect of me leaving that studio feeling more fearless and more confident in everything else that I tackled. Well, I guess we're battling the light. Look at this. It's gotten so dark. Winter in the loft is always kind of like dark by 3:30, 4. It's so annoying for filming. I guess we're gonna have to go lights on. Ugh. I already talked so much, but I feel like we're only scratching the surface on this conversation, and just a mid-roll reminder that all of this advice and thoughts are brought to you by my lovely sponsors, Squarespace. A lot of you have been out there taking up more space unapologetically, as you should, and maybe it's about time you took up some internet space as well. I know I say it often, but if you feel like it's time to create your slice of the internet, then Squarespace is your all-in-one platform to design a website from start to finish. There you will find all the tools you need to get you up and running. It is made for non-professionals, so you don't need to know how to code or be super techie. If you've got skills or knowledge to share, there are extra features like members only content or subscriptions make it really easy to monetize what you're good at. Maybe you just need a place for people to find you, in which case you can try out my 2-week free trial at squarespace.com/Tarmar. Try it out. And if you like what your website looks like and you want to go live, you can always use my code Tarmar for 10% off your future billing. Something else I'm paying major catch up on in my life, if you haven't already noticed. For a while there, I forgot how to live, truly. I think having a good time is something I really got disconnected from. I don't know if it was just being in a long-term relationship where you're kind of like not wanting to go out because, you know, people mainly go out to meet other people. And I think I spent a large portion of my 20s really reclused, and I think a lot of people can relate to that, where you just feel like you see people going out and having a good time and you just kind of don't know how. A massive part of you just doesn't want to leave your safe comfort zone. Honestly, if there's any advice I could give you, it's go out, make the memories, maintain the friendships, especially if you're in a relationship. It's an effort, but you gotta do it. Fight the urge to stay in. And I mean stay in as an entire concept. I know there's a lot of you out there who know exactly what I mean when I say that and probably feel a little attacked. Trust me, I was there. I definitely am somebody that walked through most of my 20s. Just didn't really know how to get out of that rut, but nothing changes if nothing changes. For a natural, slightly more introverted person like me, I have to fight the urge to stay in. You know, I came out of my last long-term relationship really looking back on my 20s, because I pretty much spent like all of my 20s with this person. Just felt like outside of them, I didn't really have a lot of like core memories or super fun, like reckless things I did to look back on. Maybe it was like FOMO, I don't know. Like as I'm talking to you guys, my closet's a mess, I need to like clean it up. But I'm planning a night out. I want to pick out what I'm wearing tomorrow night. I'm going out for drinks with Lizzie. Look back on that period in my life, and I think at the time, I didn't really see myself as somebody that could be a positive part of someone else's experience and a part of their good memories as much as my own. I just kind of recluse in my safe bubble where I know how everything is and I have my routine. I started kind of regaining control of that and meeting new people, rekindling old friendships and really strengthening my bonds with people. I realized how much I was missing that in my life. I regretted not making as much connections. I have a lot of acquaintances and people that I really love spending time with, and definitely friendships that I probably could have forged forward with but kind of kept reserved, feeling like I could have done more and I could have been a part of more people's lives in a positive way, because I'm somebody that has like a lot of love to give. That's another big hint too. If your relationship is everything, fix that, clean that up. Top life tip: develop your own individual sense of self. I know it's hard, but truly it will stand to you and it will benefit your relationship for the better if you can involve yourself in more activities and actions that will build a foundation within you that is so strong as an individual. I think an easy way to view it is, who would you be if you weren't in the relationship? You should be able to see that you would be okay. But yeah, even if it doesn't come natural, fight the urge to stay in. For me, I get really anxious about how the night's going to turn out, and I kind of use that as an excuse to just stay in, because staying in is what I know, whereas going out is like the unpredictable. Release that control, release the expectation. You can go home anytime you want, but more often than not, I end up going out and having a great time and making those genuine lifetime good memories with people that I feel like I wasn't making before. I would give my boyfriend a shout out to this one, because very early on when we were speaking, I was saying something like, isn't that what life's about at the end of the day? It's not about work, it's not about money. Your true imprint on this life is really the connections and the experiences that you share with people, because those are the people that are going to show up at your funeral, you know? So yes, go out, maybe even be reckless from time to time. I think I might wear these jeans that I got from the Meow sale. Ooh, I forgot I got some things off ASOS. Maybe there's something in here. Kind of like a ruched off the shoulder situation. Ooh, maybe with this, like a vintage ASOS or reclaimed piece. Like this tiny little faux suede teal mini, that and like the long sleeve over shoulder top, I think might be a winner. Do you see what I'm getting at? Like the micro mini, like the top being longer is kind of giving the illusion that I have a longer body. I usually back out of any kind of effort outfit. Like obviously this is a short skirt, there's a lot of dilemmas you encounter as a woman in New York taking the subway. One self-improvement thing I do want to do is I do want to dress up more for the girls. Like getting overdressed up for guys, I feel like it's lost on them. That effort in for the girls, that's something I want to do more of. Nurturing current and new female friendships has been probably one of the most powerful arsenal tools that I've had, especially coming into my late 20s. Like when Saturn return hits you, those girls are gonna have your back. Trust me, I am somebody that grew up as like a guy's girl, like always in with the guys, very tomboyish, interested in the same things. Guys will never understand what it's like to be a woman. They move through life completely differently, and I think as I've reached 30, I've realized that you really have to stand in solidarity with other women. You know, they're the ones that are going to understand your emotions and your inner turmoils. Look where we are, where we started. Ugh. She's cozy, she's comfy. Style is something that I found myself so frustrated with over the years. Like I did the whole capsule wardrobe thing, like starting from the basics, but I found that it was just really limiting and didn't reflect kind of the multi-dimensionality within the style I have in my soul, you know? Just like I've accepted that in myself, I think that that's a nice metaphor for allowing the constant reinvention of yourself. Let yourself and your idea of yourself die and be reborn over and over again. It's a choice you can make as many times as you want. It's the beautiful gift that is life. And if that's not a priority, don't be mad at people who choose to do so. I think it's important to have the grace to accept that other people as well as us will never be the same people they once were before. Like your experiences shape who you are going forward. Who you are right at this moment and who everyone else is in relation to you is the only truth that matters, and you should base all of your decisions off of that. What is, not what was or what could be in the future. Don't make decisions based on potential. You will save yourself a lot of unnecessary heartbreak seeing things as they are and not as you want them to be. Also, a big part of coming into alignment with yourself is realizing you truly can be anyone you want to be. Every characteristic, cool quality, you can have a piece of that. Like characteristics are stealable. Implement it into your life and become that bitch, I swear to God. Sometimes you just gotta emulate them a little bit, fake it till you make it, and eventually you will come into your own. Forgot my groceries. Okay. Classic though, absolutely no way I'm cooking tonight. Cooking after all of this public service work? I don't think so. Okay, I may have ordered this in a moment of weakness, but I was really craving Nutella. I haven't had it in the house in ages. I don't really crave a lot of these things I used to anymore, but I did crave it this week. You know, bone broth, cause balance. Oh, my takeaway is coming up. I was really in the mood for like beige Chinese food. So I got chicken and rice, like sweet and sour chicken and rice. I always like laugh at sweet and sour sauce because it's nuclear colored. Unpopular opinion, but this meal comes with an egg roll. I hate egg rolls. They have nothing on a classic spring roll. I've had very, very, very good Chinese cuisine in New York, where I've just been craving this. This is very similar to what my local Chinese in Cork would be, you know, very beigeified. Just love it sometimes. Shout out Great Wall, Passage West. Something about just the battered kind of almost chicken ball like pieces of chicken that just remind me of home, you know? So I kind of prefer it like this when you get to choose how much sauce is on the chicken. Anyway, this place in Williamsburg does it. So by some miracle, when I order this from this specific place, I never feel crappy afterwards. So I only have one of these left, but my favorite fork is the dessert fork, the small fork. Like I would nearly swear it doesn't taste as good without a small fork. I'm in a candle mood lately, so I've got a candle on, food ready to go. One thing about me, there's a hot water box and I have it. Where I got this cute little foxy one, but I love it. Alright. Obviously my birthday was last month, and you know the way they say your birthday is kind of like your own personal new year. It's sort of a fresh chapter. After my birthday, I get so much clarity. I start redirecting my focus. Kind of looking forward to, after a pretty fun heavy, not just summer, but year, I would say. Like I really have no regrets about the year 29. Needed that year before turning 30, and also just like post-pandemic to like blow off some steam. I don't think I've ever said yes to things more, and sure, it was expensive, but I'm coming away with it with more memories than I feel like I've made in the previous 8 or 9 years alone. I started the journey like 2-3 years ago, but the last year was really a culmination of the work. And when I talk about those things that I wanted to bring into my life throughout this video, I feel like the last year was me consolidating all of the work that I put in and really reaping the rewards and making the memories and creating the connections with people that I wanted. 2 or 3 years ago, when my life started changing, feels like yesterday to me, and I want everyone watching to know that if you are dissatisfied with any element of your life, you could have a brand new, completely different looking life where everything is so different to how you ever imagined within a year. Again, no regrets, but it would have been great to just flow with life a little bit easier. I think I caused myself a lot of heartache not letting go of those big themes in life, different elements of them earlier. And what I've learned is that I do hold on to things way longer than I should with a deathly grip, because I'm afraid of change and I'm afraid of the unknown. But now that I'm aware and I see that life goes on, like, there is a lot more reward in taking a risk than there is just staying in your safe zone where you know the outcome. There were aspects of my safety, my security, and just my inner peace that were very unstable. You know, we all have our own ish going on that's out of our control. And this settled, safe path that I was kind of daydreaming through, or sleepwalking through, should I say, safe and felt predictable. That's what I was clawing into, was that need for safety and to know the outcome of even just minute everyday things. Just feeling that safety and stability that came with the uneventfulness of my life. Understanding more about how nervous system works, that was my nervous system trying not to rock the boat. We found unpredictability stressful. Now unpacking was a trauma response. And that everyone has issues, like no one is free from trauma and anxiety caused by that. Accepting that you don't have to be beaten or abused or treated badly to have traumatic responses to things. You can hang on to a lot of things as a comfort blanket because it's familiar, and the familiarity is easy. Take a toxic relationship, for example. Sometimes we stay in it because the toxicity is all we know. So if you're someone that is always an ear for someone else, I want you to lean into the support that your friends have, even if they don't outwardly offer it. I think real friends will be able to hold space through that vulnerability and sharing and putting down any shameful thoughts. You really can begin to heal, and I'm forever in debt to my close friendships and my relationship even for allowing me a safe space to be able to start to unpack that stuff. The misconception also is that like a healthy relationship or a healthy friendship won't trigger you. It will. The difference is a toxic one won't help you grow and heal, but the healthy relationship will nurture your healing, and you will come to these like realizations. Feel safe that the other person isn't going to go anywhere while you're processing these emotions. I'm leaving my 20s behind me knowing that it was all worth it. Everything I did got me to this point, and I think a big part of that was setting the intention of where I wanted to be. And I guess it kind of feeds into manifestation a little bit. When I was talking about those videos that I saw, what they had to say really sparked a mindset shift within me, and I guess all of the little decisions added up have got me to, I think, a place where I wanted to be, where you can step into that life that feels more aligned with you. Because I think we all have kind of a version of ourselves in our heads that we wish we were, and trust me, if you're able to imagine it, you've already created it. It's just about getting into alignment with it. I feel like it's through this that I've shed the most baggage and made some space for some true joy in life and experience again, which I think I just drifted from for a while. No, I didn't upload last week, but don't worry, there is another video coming this month. I pay my debts. I told you you get 3 videos and you will. I really wanted to take my time with this one because it is a milestone video for me, and I know that it's going to connect with a lot of you. And please, if there's anyone in your life that you feel like this might resonate with, share it. With these videos especially, when we're all on the same frequency and discussing these things, I genuinely feel like we're tapping into just positive, good sisterhood energy. Nice for everyone to just share their thoughts and maybe wish each other well in the comments. I keep mentioning sisterhood, and I feel like that's how I view my channel as I'm getting older, is like a resource for similar-minded women to connect and help each other, like lift each other up. As always, take what resonates, take what makes sense, leave the rest. It's not yours to claim. I think I've talked for Ireland today, so I'm gonna turn off the camera. I'm hoping to see you guys next weekend as well, so be sure to tune in. And yeah, if you enjoyed any part of this video, the best way that you can give me a little online thank you is to share. I will see you when I see you. Mwah. Bye.